Okay, good afternoon, guys. Hope everyone is well. Indy, good morning. Okay, sorry I'm a bit late. I'll just nip downstairs quickly. Market's due opening in about 20 seconds, so we've had this big sell-off this morning. I think it dropped. Well, that's one of the biggest bars I've seen for a while. 37, 38-point bar, 55-point bar is the biggest I've ever seen. So, are we going to recover a lot of this? God only knows. So we've had it depends how you've drawn this. You've drawn this really. Whether you draw it, I had it something like that, but I think it's irrelevant. We've had a break out of it. It depends whether you draw it a bit tighter. We've had a break there. We've had a break there, and we've bounced, and we've come back and had another go. So are we going to push up or not? I don't know. It's hard to say at the moment. Maybe. Let's have a look. So I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Same again, another dry day for me. I seem to be in a bit of a rut, really. I haven't taken a trade for a while. So whether I'm just, sometimes you lose a trade and you kind of forget how to take a trade again. I don't know if you guys experienced that. I've not really. So I think a winning trade today would probably do me the world of good, probably get me back to where I was, or where I am rather. Speedy, how you doing? So yeah, I've been a while without a winning trade. So my accounts are sort of stagnant at the moment, but it does happen from time to time. You can get a little bit dry and you kind of forget how to trade in a strange way. So let's have a look. Is this just a fade back into this? We'll find out in a minute, I think, really, whether we're going to have a couple of legs and continue up, but I'm going to bin that for now. But yeah, we're going a little bit sideways. Greetings to you, Bafas. How you doing? Let's have a little look. What's the NQ doing? So, okay, so we're above this at the moment. So are we just creating a new top? That to me looks like it may be starting to push up. Trouble is, when we get days like this, you never know whether sometimes we'll recover it relatively quickly. I'd certainly expect to recover some of it. We had that sort of a couple of days ago, not quite as big a move. In fact, it was yesterday, we had that big drop initially, then we covered 50% of it, then we sort of took 50% back, and then latter part of the day we had that really strong 2 legs up, which I never seem to be trading when that happens. It just didn't stop, did it? And then we came back, and then off it went again. So let's have a little look. So we're lower than we've been for a while, so break, 2 bounces there. I'd expect to probably recover some of it. If we can get above this and bounce. Let me just check there isn't no type of channel there that I'm missing, and this is a push for a new high. It looks like it might be. Let's put that as a spike and channel. Okay, so it does look like a channel. We've gone a bit sideways there. We've had a couple of legs back in and we've pushed back out. So hopefully, I still seem to have this problem where I'm getting charged for no eval. Yeah, you need to get on top of that. But I believe yesterday a couple of people said there was a few issues yesterday. I'm not quite so sure why. I've added one myself this morning, and so far everything seems to be going all right. Never the other way around, is it? I'll tell you what, I did have once, maybe 5 or 6 months ago. I had 4 accounts at the time, and I'd blown all 4 of them in a day. And there was an issue with Rhythmic, and they reset everyone's accounts, and I got all my 4 accounts back. I couldn't believe me luck. To be honest, with all the stress I've had, I thought, yeah, fair enough. Unfortunately, I ended up losing them again eventually anyway. But sometimes you'll get a bit lucky like that. Sometimes if there is problems, they'll say we've resetted everyone's accounts. If you've made any profit, you can keep it. So yeah, good to take a look at the daily. Just look at the daily now, mate. We've had that big, but there is some support along here, you can see it, so that is quite a big move. I'd expect it to bounce a little bit, but you can see there is some support along there. and we've pushed through it and had a little bit of a pullback. So I wouldn't be surprised if we take some of this back. How much of it, I don't know, but so we've had this leg up, 2 legs back, and a nice big bearish bullish bar. I'm not taking that. It's 17 ticks, but it is 2 attempts to go lower. So I would say it's likely to push up above this. Rodian, how you doing, mate? Let's see what happens here. See, in fact, in all honesty, we could even take that up a bit. There is a possibility. I'm going to leave it there just for now. Let's see what happens here. But after this and this push up and break, it does look like we're likely to push up, at least make a new high. But I think I'd expect some of this to get taken back. I'd say maybe this is a spike and channel, but I like how it's working there. So we got that push up, 2 attempts to go lower. But it is flattening out there. It could just be the more of a topper range, but I don't think so. Yeah, there is that possibility. We could just be doing this, topping off a bit. Okay, so whether you think that's a channel or not, we've made a new high from that, so I've extended that. See, I'd like to put that there, but in fact, that probably worked, wouldn't it? I'm just not a fan of this at the moment. Let's put it back. Oh, doing good. Staying out of the market. Yeah, it's just not a lot lately, is there? Trouble is, when you haven't taken a trade for a while, you kind of sort of forget how to take one, if that makes any sense. It's a bit of a weird feeling. It's been a while since I've taken a trade. Well, a winning trade, that is, rather. I had a few losing trades last week. But fortunately, I never avenged traded at all. And I've had this change in me now for about 3 weeks, which is unreal. It's just unfortunate that I've managed to control these emotions. All the bloody setups have disappeared. So it's weird, isn't it? Okay, now I'm wondering if there is a spike in a channel. Let's have a look. Let's put that there for now, see what happens. Maybe it's there. Do you know what? I'm getting rid of that. I'm not a fan of it. I think this may just be topping off a bit, I think. See what happens. Having said that, there does look like a channel on the NQ. Sometimes it can work like this. This seems to go more sideways, and that seems to continue on up. But it's not a very steep channel, that. I prefer them a bit steeper than that. Well, at least it's moving anyway. I know parts of yesterday the thing just wasn't moving. At least it's moving. I much prefer it when it's moving like this. Not only that, if you do get in a trade, you're in and out quite quick. That ATR's coming down. It did climb quite high. When I got to the screen, it was about 3.5, maybe a little bit more. So it has dropped a little bit. Trouble is, the average bar's a lot bigger, hence your risk's a lot bigger. I like to have it around about the 2, somewhere around about there, I think. Okay, I have a feeling we're going to break below this line because it seems to be going more sideways now. Actually, that's interesting. There could be a second entry long on the NQ. Bars NAF anyway. I'm kind of glad that happened. Because there is a second entry long that looks like it's forming. The NQ looks like a nice little channel. I prefer that to be a little bit lower. So technically, there's a second entry long there, but the bar's NAF. But as I say, this is starting to go a bit more sideways, so I'd expect a bit of a break here. Maybe sort of down to this level. That's a strong bar, that is. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some stops below there. There's going to be some stops below here. Push up maybe there, maybe there. I'd like to see a quick flush down and get below this line, which I think we may get, just to clear out some of them stops. There may be a higher low there. I just don't like this though. We've pushed up and not got very high. I don't like this. It is a higher low and it is working. I just don't like this. We're going more sideways. It's just making me nervous. It clearly worked. But I'd like a quick flush down. You'd have made your points off that anyway. It's just a bit whippy, isn't it, for me? I expect this to have a good flush down. Right, what would you have got out of that? It did work, but it's just not filling me full of. So you'd have got 2 points off that, but I expect that to have a quick drop. Come on. I'm not a fan of this channel now. All of a sudden, it's going sideways, I think. So I expect that to get taken out, and that, and that. Yeah, it's a little bit unpredictable here. I have a feeling we're going to take a lot of this back. So, just out of curiosity, let's figure out where the center line is. Leg and a leg. Market's definitely flowing today. No argument there. There's definitely money coming in through today. Maybe a higher low there. Just not sure. This is a little bit whippy. Just could get you into trouble. Let's see what happens. Well, there we go. If that had been bullish, I may have had a go at that because it's a very small risk. We've had a breakout at the top, breakout at the bottom, clearly going sideways, clearly 2 legs down, and that worked really quick, that would. I mean, it shut up about 5 points, I think, didn't it, that bar? If you'd have jumped in here, yep, you'd have been in and out in a second. So we've got a channel down with a break, and that's looking like a new low. It's definitely moving today. You can get into trouble quick here, but I actually much prefer it when it's moving like this. Yeah, I've got to be so careful. I've got chopped up in this many times. I've just got to keep my patience hat on today, I think. 6 points in 20 seconds. Crazy, isn't it? It's definitely moving. Trouble is, if you don't know what you're doing in this, you can get chopped up in a second. It is a bit dangerous, this. If you're going to be taking trades, they've either got to be at the top or the bottom, really. And stay out of this middle, because it can bang you up a bit. It's definitely moving, that's for certain. So we've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Are we going to come down again? Just trying to scalp one mini, lost 60 seconds here. Back to the sidelines. Yeah, you got to be really careful here. Excuse me a sec. Okay. 2 legs up the bearish bar. Trouble is, it's triggered it. It looks like it might stop it. I took a long on the MNQ move so fast it didn't. Time hit my runner. 36 years is moving very quick. Just had BOC news. Tony Jeffrey, you're a new face, I think. Where are you from, bud? So 2 legs up, so that bearish bar did work. But to be honest with you, if you look on the NQ, we've got that channel up. We've had a break. It looks like it's trying to make a new high here. So let's see what happens here. To that ATR's high as well. You can get into a trade there and lose $300 or $400 pretty quickly. This is pushing up by the looks of things to make a new high. In fact, you know what? At the moment, I'm tempted just to trade an evaluation until this slows down. So I'm just going to toggle off my replicanto and just trade an evaluation, because if I'm going to lose a trade, I'd rather just lose one evaluation. Yeah. Okay.
Order cancelled.
So we got a leg and a leg. NQ testing. Yeah, see the NQ's had that leg up there. We've had a break and we've slowly worked up. So is that going to continue up? It's hard to say, really. Let me just see if there's a bigger channel going on up here. It's hard to say, really. Maybe, maybe not. Essex. Ah, brilliant. Interested in Pats. I trade 8 tick range bars. Oh, interesting. I'm seeing if the system fits. Interesting. That's interesting, that. Essex. Have we talked before, have we? There was someone here from Essex a while back. It might have been you. Probably is. I've got a brain like a sieve lately, I have. This looks like it's going to push up. I could do with a second entry longer, and I'll have a go at that on an evaluation. Yeah, I'm just not trading my PAs at the moment. It's too whippy. That ATR's too high. I don't mind taking risks for a $35 evaluation, but it was you. Yeah, I thought it was. See if we are going to get a move. I want to get in on it. Come on, let's have a couple of legs down. Interesting. I was tempted just to jump in there. Trouble is, when it's pushing like this, it's very tempting just to jump in, and you get chopped up. I definitely trade my evaluations a little bit more riskier. I kind of like trading evaluations when it's like this, because you can pass them really quick. You know, you can whiz up 10 points pretty quickly. So let's have a break here now. We've pushed up, but we've stayed. So around the middle line, we haven't come to the top, so I'd expect a break. And hopefully we can continue on up again. Yeah, I never quite know why. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes it all back. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll have a push down, recover a little bit, and then continue on down. But I don't think that's going to happen today. I'd say we're going to recover a lot of it. What I want to try and do is get in on 2 contracts somewhere like here and try and hold on an evaluation.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Yeah, I don't find low impact news does anything, to be fair. I don't even bother having it on my chart now, in all honesty. You can pass evaluations quick when it's like this, and you can lose them quick as well. It's just too fast and too whippy to trade my evaluation. My PAs, I'm just leaving them at the moment till this slows down. That ATR's still too high, and it's still whippy. But I mean, the evaluation will cost me around about £25 British pounds, so I don't mind risking with that. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's more sideways than Okay, so channel break. Now what we're going to do? It's not taken off as strong as I thought it might do.
Order cancelled.
A leg and a leg. Let's have a look at this. Okay. I think this may still just be ranging. It's hard to say at the moment. You can see we've got a bunch of touches there. I'm going to pull that up to there like that. So it could be a leg and a leg, and we could push up, or there may be a channel back in. There's a higher low there, but the bar's naff. We could have a pop up, come back down. That's 5 more emails to do. Officially 20 PAs. Good on you, mate. Have you noticed Black Bay Trader's got 20 PAs, but he hasn't taken a trade for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. I mean, he's watching the chart all day, but I think he's taken 2 trades in 3 weeks, I think. So, although I admire the fact that he's got patience, but the trouble is, if you're not taking trades for a couple of weeks, even if you've got 20 PAs, you're still going to struggle to make any money. So I'm not quite sure what his plans are. The thing is, when it's like this, whipping around really quick, if you can get a quick move in the right direction with a few contracts, you can make it really quickly. But obviously, equally, you can blow them. And when it is moving fast, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to work out exactly what's going on. So let's have a look. So once, twice, 3 times. There may be a triple test there. Let's have a look. Trouble is, every time it's coming down here, it's bouncing. Yeah, if you can get to what you're going to do, Brant, trade them all together or split them up. I like to think that if I had 20, I would probably do 10 at a time maximum. That way, if something does go tits up with Rhythmic, which it has been known to from time to time, at least you've got another 10. But what I will say to you guys is download a copy of OBS and record your trade. So if something does go wrong, I do 5 right now, but probably, yeah, I think 10's max, I think. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to do 20, but Rhythmic's just not reliable enough. Now, if it goes wrong and it happens to everyone, Apex are pretty good, but I have heard of a few people saying, I've lost accounts, and they've said, sorry, they can't do anything, and, losing a count or 2 is survivable, but if you lose 20 accounts, Christ, you'd be throwing yourself off the nearest bridge, wouldn't you? I don't trust Rhythmic Trade Copy. Yeah, Trade Copy I'm more comfortable with. I mean, I use Replicanto. I've not had any problems with it, but Rhythmic. But like I say, you never know, do you? I have had people say to me that they've used Ninja Trader and their own account for 3 years and never, ever had a single problem. And you'd expect that on your own account, but, when we're dealing with other companies, we can't control their issues. That's the trouble. It's okay, driving on the road and saying, I've never had an accident, I'm a good driver, but it's not necessarily you got to worry about. It's sometimes the other idiots on the road. So that's the trouble. If you've got something which is a little bit unreliable, it's hard to put all your eggs in one basket, isn't it? I can't imagine losing 20 accounts. I felt bad enough when I lost 4. But good on you, mate. It's a nice number if you can get to 20. What are you going to do, Brant? Are you going to try and grow them, or are you going to get to a certain level and then withdraw? I kind of like what the what's his name? The Alpine trader does. He gets up to around about 3,000, something like that, and takes a couple of thousand. Trouble is, he's continuing to buy more and more of PAs, then see, and more evaluations. I suppose if you play things right, you could sort of have it that it won't cost you another penny, which is always good. I don't know how I feel about that. Don't get me wrong, in an ideal world, I'd like to grow them to $7,000. And then say I'll take 2,000 and then constantly keep 5, and then I've got 5 to play with, and what I make over the next month up to 2,000, I'll withdraw again, and so on. That's what I'd like to do, but whether I will, I'm not sure. Small amounts, yeah. I think it's good to get some money out of them because you get that sense of achievement then, don't you?
Order submitted.
It's a nice feeling withdrawing money, isn't it? And I think it's important rather than just putting in all the time. Let's have a look.
Order
I know it's a bit
filled.
risky, this, but it does seem to be constantly pushing up. We've had sort of a bit of a pullback. It really seems to want to get up. This is going to stitch me, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe so. Oh, that's right. Oh, it's a failure, isn't it? We'll see. As I say, I don't mind taking risks with these. I don't mind taking a bit of a punt. Does look like it's going to drop though to mate.
Target filled.
Leg and a leg. Let's try it again.
Order submitted.
Okay, leg and a leg. If anybody is wondering, I'm just trading an evaluation at the moment, which is why I seem to be taking slightly more aggressive trades. Let's have a look. Now we get the triple test on the NQ 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can get a bullish bar here.
Order filled. Target filled. Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled.
$2.25. What's the word I'm looking for? There is a second entry long there, but that looks like a bit of a triple test there, so that may... 1, 2, 3, it may come down quickly, it's hard to say at the moment. Ooh, let's have a little look now. Lucy Futures, really glad I found your stream. Excellent. I'm glad you're here. Bit of a newbie question. Could you explain what the number next to the candle is? That number there, that tells you currently how many ticks in that bar. So it just helps your decision making. So if you're looking to take a trade on there, obviously then, you know, if you think 10 ticks or 12 ticks or whatever is a little bit risky, it just helps your decision making. And that number there at the end of this tells you what the previous bar is. So at the moment, that's 5 ticks. That previous is 6 ticks. You can change. In fact, I was going to change it to points. Where are you from, anyways? What are we going to call you? CPTJINY. What are we going to call you? Give me a name to call you. Something easy to remember. It's called, that one's called Bar Size Counter, incidentally. If anyone is interested in that, that's the website where you can get it for free. Ticktech.com, TICKTEC.com. They do other bits of software and they're free as well, and it is useful. So I think I've got it set to ticks at the moment. I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look. You can set it to, where is it? Format ticks points. Okay, let's see if that looks any better. Ah, that's a bit better. I actually prefer that. Not that my maths. Oh, you're from Middlesbrough, are you now? I got you. I go sort of northeast area. I got you. Ah, got you. Are fibs a thing in Pats? Not really. Mac doesn't mention him. I have seen him bring him up a couple of times, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Now, a lot of times they do work. Now, we don't generally tend to use them, but they can be an area just to be careful. So if you're thinking about going along into that, it just might make you think, you know, a bit careful. But if you're going to use that, generally you go from top to bottom. So that's where I've put that line there, the 50% line. So all that'll do, it won't play a massive role. But if we're up here and I'm thinking about going along into it, sometimes it'll bounce off it. Sometimes it'll maybe correct, or sometimes it'll even reverse. It just depends. So I have seen Mac use them, but generally we don't as a rule. But, you know, as you change and develop and learn and you pick up a new things, add in something extra if you think it may help you. You know, it's okay. I can't see a problem with it. What was I going to say? Middlesbrough, yeah. Is that how they call Mackens, is it? I can't remember. I know my stepdad was in the army. We were over in Northern Ireland, and it was lots of squatters from that area of the world, and they used to give each other a hard time. The only trouble is with that, it's a bit in the way, so I need to offset that. So that, I believe... Let me have a wee look. I think that's in. It's in Pat's toolbar. No, it's not. It's in one of these, isn't it? I think it might be that. Tick count display offset. Is that there? Is it? Let's try moving the top one to 20. See if that changes anything. Ah, that's better. Oh, there we go. Much better. Super. In fact, I can still take it a bit closer. In fact, no, it's better out of the way. I think you can make the bars bigger as well. Yeah, see, just in case you're not sure. If anybody doesn't know what that is, all it is, because we're trading a 2000 tick chart, it's just counting down the ticks. As that comes to 0 and starts again, we form a new bar. In fact, I might make that a bit bigger. It's quite choppy at the moment, so let's have a day of adjusted shit, shall we? Font. Let's go up to 22. Can we change the colour there? We probably can, but do we need to? Can you change the colour? It doesn't matter anyway, so that should make that a bit bigger. That is a bit better, yeah, okay. Okay, leg and a leg. Let's have a look. So yeah, if anybody does wonder why there's all of a sudden shed loads of trades on there, as you can see there, I'm just trade. It's very, very choppy, and you can get eaten up very quick until that ATR comes down a little bit more. I'm just going to sort of trade on an evaluation for a bit. We've got a channel down there with an overshoot, a strong push up. So I jumped in there anyway, a little bit more risky, but it's clearly working there, and that pushed up and gave me 1.75 points, and then there was a higher low, so I jumped in there as well, and that obviously worked. Now, I wouldn't normally jump in willingly like this, but evaluations I don't mind taking some risks with.
Order submitted.
So break out the top which failed, see if we can get something down here somewhere. Johnny, okay, Johnny, that I'll remember that, Johnny. Yeah, I'm from Middlesbrough. Got you. Macam. Oh, from Sunderland, of course. Yeah, that's it. You reminded me. They used to give each other a hard time anyway, whether that was down to football or not. I don't know. Smoggy, some. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Order
I'm going to
canceled.
quickly take a quick 5-minute break. Okay, folks, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make myself a cup of tea. I'm getting a bit dry in the mouth here. We've been going an hour, so a little bit of sideways there, so I'm going to let it sort that out. Make sure I've got nothing open. Okay, I'll be 5 minutes. Okay, right, we are clearly going up. No argument there. Might be a better option, I think. Yeah, I think that's a little better. So let's ditch that for now. We don't need it. So it looks like we are recovering a lot of this, and I feeling we might do. It's a fair old drop, that is. We don't often get a drop that big. So from the top to the bottom was 109 points. That was a fair sized drop, but it wasn't, I think, quite as big. What was that one? It was a little bit more, so interesting. So let's have a quick look at the daily again. I thought we might bounce off there. We hit this level, we got some support there, so I won't be surprised if we take a lot of this back. Sort of on a break here, leg and a leg, we'll see. This is going quite sideways on the NQ. This is, we're going to leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, leg and a leg. So we could, if this comes down, there's a lower high here. If this comes down to the bottom on the NQ, then I expect this to come down a bit here. Actually, I prefer that like that, I think, just for now. Maybe not. I just want to recheck this one, because if that's an overshoot, I expect that to come down. Let's just see where that comes to there. So is that an overshoot? It's negligible at the minute. Right, this is that 50%. Be interested to see what happens when we hit that. Sometimes we'll push through it, other times we don't. Okay, possible second entry long. I'm not sure about that. I don't like where it is. Bar's naff anyway. Okay, excuse me just a second. I'm just going to sign for a parcel. Sorry about that. Okay, it's definitely slowed down now that ATR is coming back. It comes down a bit more, I'll get my PAs back. Okay. Let's have a look here. What's going on here? When you enter your trades, do you use a buy market or buy limit? If I'm in a rush and it's moving quick, usually I'll click buy market or sell market. But the rest of the time, I'll use a limit order. The trouble is, if you, let's say I wanted to buy here with a buy market, if I just click buy market or sell market, it'll just open up a trade where it is. But sometimes, well, what I used to do was to use these. So if I was going to buy here, I'd open up a buy. The trouble is, if I waiting for a signal bar to finish and aim to drop that in, if price hits it, it'll kick it off. And then you've got to open it and do it again. Whereas if you drop a limit order, the limit order will stay there until it gets hit. So I find it's more reliable with a limit order, especially if you're using a trade copier and you're copying multiple accounts. It's less problematic. So I generally, if I'm going to buy here, I'll be buying with a limit order.
Order submitted.
So wherever I drop that, it'll stay there until price hits it. So for me, I much prefer it.
Order cancelled.
You're seeing me trading quite aggressively at the moment. It's because I'm just trading on an evaluation. They're cheap at the moment, about $30, $35, which is, I don't know, 26, 27 quid, something like that. I was trading my live PA accounts. I wouldn't be trading sort of this risky, although that I would have traded. We got a channel with an overshoot and a strong push up off this line, so I expect that to go much higher, and it did. That was the better trade. That one I think was a bit risky, maybe not. And that one as well, that was just stupid. But there we go. So remind me what you were doing again. I'm interested in Pat side trade and 8-tick range bars. Yeah, I've come across them once before, and I'm seeing if a system fits. Yeah, I got to say, if you're learning to trade, I can highly recommend Pat's. One, Mac's an absolute legend. He's a lovely guy, and two, he only charges $125 per year to be part of his website. And if you want to get a feel for who he is, if anybody's ever interested, you can look at his YouTube channel and you can watch him do an analysis on the days trading Monday to Thursday for the last 13 years. So if you don't want to just give him the money, you want to find out who he is and what he's about. Just look at his, I'll find his, it's vibrating, something's vibrating here. Bitcoin, that's all right. Where is he? Here he is. Yeah, if you want to get a feel for who he is, that's him there. That's his website there. Sorry, his YouTube channel, my mistake. That's the website there, Price Action Trading. So it's just Pat's Trading, but if you look at his videos, the oldest ones, he goes back, 12 years. But he puts videos on 4 days a week. You can see it 16 hours a day ago, 5 days ago, 6, 7, 8. And watch these, and he talks about price, what it's done, where the trades were. So, but he is a genuine guy. He's genuine helpful. If you ever send him an email, he always answers it, always. So he's a genuine guy. So if you are looking to trade, I would absolutely thoroughly recommend Mac. You can get ripped off in this business. There's a lot of people charging you thousands, and the trouble is, you pay $2,000, you don't really know what you're going to get, but $125, you can take a punt. But if someone's charged you $125 for a year and he's a seasoned trader, he's not ripping you off. he's happily doing a bit back. It's not about the money. I mean, I've been with Mac now for nearly 3 years. Price has never changed. There's never any discussions about money. So what am I looking at here? So I'm still not sure what's going on here, whether there is a spike in a channel or not. I don't like this on the NQ. Let me just zoom out and see if something else might fit there. Yeah, maybe that's not too bad actually. So we may have a small break here. This with Mac, he is essentially a 4-tick scalp. Yeah, forget that 4-tick scalps. They don't really exist anymore. Well, sorry, I've said that wrong. Mac brought that out really when you could take a trade with a tick above for a maximum of 2 points. Look at the ATR now. So if you took a trade there, you're talking 3 points. So that's 50% more. So if the risk's bigger, the profit has to be, you know what I mean? If you're selling baked beans, you can't pay the retailer twice the price and sell them for the same price on the supermarket shelves. You're going to lose money. So, you know, you have to move with it. But if the risks are bigger, generally the bars are bigger, so the profitable bars are bigger as well. So I think majority of people don't trade 4 ticks now. I think it tends to be between 6 ticks and 1 to 1. I know traders who trade 6 ticks. I know traders who trade 1 to 1. I know traders who trade 2 points with me. I think 2 points seems to be the most popular one. But put it this way, if you go back and look at all your winning trades, look at Mac's winning trades, you will find about 98% of the winning trades go for over 2 points. So if you're doubling your profit, you only need to get it right 50% of the time to make it worth your while. So trust me, it's about 98%, 97, 98% of the time that they'll reach 2 points. Now, obviously, if you're trading in a very tight range and you expect it, you know, things are different. But in general, trust me on the 2 points. Now, on the other side of it, sometimes even a bad trade will go for 4 ticks. But, you know, if you're a consistent trader and you know where the setups are and you've done a little bit of time, you know, a couple of years or so, then I would absolutely always go for 2 points. If you look at people like Thomas Wade, never trades less than 2 points, goes between 2 points and 10 ticks. Who's some of the other ones? I know people like Marco and Daniel go for 6 ticks. There's a guy who works with Marco on the website, Taylor, goes between 2 and 4 points. It depends really. I mean, if we're in a nice solid uptrend and we have a channel up, we have 2 legs back and a nice bounce and a strong market, you go for a little bit more because, you know, it will do it in a lot of the cases. We're clearly moving up now, aren't we? And when we came back there, we had a little channel down with an overshoot and a higher low. Look, if you'd have jumped in there, you know, a strong push up like that and a higher low, I'd expect that to have a decent run. And if you went in there, look, you know, even if you followed it up these swings and then that swing and then that swing, you'd be up here with 15, 16 points before it took you out. So, you know, as you become a better trader and you get better at reading the markets, there's no reason why you can't go for more points. Or, you know, once you start getting your contracts, I know Mac trades 20 contracts, he scalps 15 of them. And Mac, yeah, he scalps a point because he's very good at what he does, and it's the way he's always been doing it. And not only that, he'll make most of his money on his runners. His scalps, his points, will just be his basic wage. His bonus will be his runners, where he'll make most of his money. So, but yeah, if you look back on some of those videos, you know, it tended to average 1.5 points with a tick above, tick below. It just doesn't exist anymore. On the very rare occasion that comes down to 1.5 points with a tick above, tick below, you're still risking more. How many trades have I made today? Just 3. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't make that many, but I'm trading on evaluation, so I am trading a little bit risky, so I don't mind just buying down here. So I'm going to suggest now that is an overshoot. Hence, we've had this strong push down. Now, I would say we may just have a correction here. It's quite steep, that is, so maybe it will come a little low. I don't know, but let me just see if something else will work from down here. Let me try this very bottom. I'm not sure about that. Depends where that goes to, really. It's still a bit early yet, but that's an overshoot to me, I think. It depends how you draw this. If you look at the 10,000 tick chart, it might be more clear. Yes, sometimes. I used to have it. I've got the daily, which is giving me something, but yeah, absolutely. It does make it a little bit clear. There's the 10,000 tick chart there. We're clearly in a channel. No argument there. So whether it will come down to there, if it does, we still have an overshoot. So I'd say it's probably maybe off there, something like that. That kind of works. So maybe it's just a break. I wouldn't expect to, after an overshoot, just to continue on up. So maybe we're just having a bit of a correction. I've got that level down there as a 1-to-1. As a leg-to-leg move. So channel with a break, 2 pushes down or a few pushes down to a new low. There is some support along here. You can see it sitting right there. See it here, there, and a few places there, and a little bit there. So with that overshoot and a leg, sometimes these overshoots, if you can get a lower high there after an overshoot. I seen Mac take one a while ago. It came down and it had an overshoot. A lower high after that overshoot and it rocketed down. Okay, so well, let's make this accurate. You'd be amazed how accurate these things can be. They still blow me away. So leg down, look how that's bounced. You could have a go at that.
Order filled.
I don't mind taking a risk. As we've had a measured move. Come on, pop. Up you get. Where are you going? Come back. Just going to take a quick
Target
couple
filled.
of hundred out of that. Oh, what was it? 175, I think, wasn't it? Was it a couple of hundred? What was that on 525? Yeah, I think that was a quick 2 points. 1.75. Yeah, I'm trading these evaluations more on sort of gut feeling as opposed to but we've had a leg and a leg. We've also had a Chandler break and a new low. And I think there's a fair chance we're going to get back up to the EMA there. Yeah, I would. In all fairness, I wouldn't take that on a PA. I just wouldn't. My gut feeling tells me after an overshoot here and an overshoot this time, it's likely to push up. It is a channel with a break and a new low, and we've bounced right at that measured move. So I expected a little push up, but I wouldn't have traded a PA there because it is risky. That's more on, a bit of experience and a bit of gut feeling. So if you see me taking trades here, don't copy me. Because I am taking risks here. I'm going more on sort of a gut feeling, so that went up for about 2.75 points. I stopped taking tops and bottoms at measured move because I'll tell you what there. If you can learn how to take tops and bottoms, you'll do really well. I've avoided them for quite a while. Now, I've been trading Pats now a couple of months off 3 years. And I started trading them initially and never had a lot of luck with them, so I avoided them. But if you can work out what's going on and how to trade them, they're very lucrative. If you join the Facebook group, people like Marco are really successful at them. So, when you get ranges, there is a way to rule out trades that aren't going to come back in. For instance, always make sure you've got two legs, make sure they're looking like measured moves, and make sure they break out of a range and pull back in, and always better when they're trapping a bull bar as well. So I've been watching them and monitoring them a lot more, and I am getting better at them. But it's just a shame. I always avoided them. Perhaps I shouldn't have done, and triple tests as well. I seem to be having some luck with triple tests. There was kind of a triple test there after a pullback. Not a perfectly obvious one, but we'd pushed down. We'd gone once, twice, three times. And there's also you can see there's almost a double bottom there. There's a second entry long there that triggers and drops. It's like a triple test, but you're trapping along. It's always good if you can take these trades when you're trapping people in the opposite direction. And there'll have been traders in there. And obviously if you took that 1, 2, 3, it's also a triple test, and that came down for plenty of points. Yeah, that went down for 9. I'd have got 2 points out of that, which I'd have been out. I'd have been out on that first bar after, I think. But yeah, whenever we get these, there's 1, there's 2. We didn't get the triple there, but that's the type of trade. 1, 2, 3. Same again, I've avoided them. I think majority of my trades seem to be higher lows, lower highs. But at the moment, you ask people who've been trading Pats a while, there's definitely a lack of setups. You don't often see really good quality second entry long lately. Sometimes you get a nice second entry long followed by a lower high. Going back a few years, you used to. I've got another question. It's down to yourself to keep an eye on the time, i.e. hour and a half. Changes over. Change in direction could happen. Because I trade price action and small sort of time frames, I go for 2 points. I don't tend to watch out for that. I just tend to follow the price action. The only thing that affects my trading in the day is any type of news. But yeah, directions, anything like that, I just tend to go with it. If you can get good at reading the price action, it is almost 100% accurate. It just doesn't lie. And traders have been trading this for a while. I'll tell you, when you get a really quality setup, the chance of winning that trade is incredibly high. I know some traders who were trading overnight with over 95% win rate. So this price action is very accurate. I've heard people say Max won dozens and dozens of trades. Somebody told me something the other day. Anybody know how many mentioned he traded in a row before he took a loss? It was dozens. So I tend to not let that worry me too much. The only thing I really worry about is the news. I just make sure I'm out around the news because obviously, if you're maybe looking for a trade here and that can destroy you, that The trouble is with that as well, if you took a trade here, a long trade with 2 points, that comes down that quick. By the time it triggered you, your stop might be here, but it may. I think I took a trade once and I had a 2 point stop, and it went straight through my stop. And when it took me out, I was 5 points down. So when market and price does move that quick, you know, it can get quite pricey. So overshoot followed by a correction. Let's have a look here. Are we going to push up or do something else? See how accurate these measured moves are. I mean, look at that. Right at the top. Right there. Right at the top. Look at that. It literally bounced off it to the tick. That's why I took a trade there. I expected a little bit of a pullback. But sometimes they're literally accurate to the tick again and again. I mean, this could be a reversal, this. I mean, we could have a leg down, all this, and we could still, with maybe a couple of breaks, have another leg down. I mean, if you look on the daily, we have had such a lot of buying lately. I mean, it's been going up and up and up for weeks. I mean, you think that's a lot. That's only part of it. Look, that's another section down there. So, I mean, look at that massive, big, strong move, and it's been going up and up. So if we end up doing something like this, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, we've literally been going up since, is that about November times? This before that, isn't it? Yeah, sometime in October, end of October, that is. 4-2. We've gone up like 1,000 points. Over 1,000 points. That's a really strong move, that. Very strong. Then we had it's just been going up and up and up. So at some point, you know, it generally doesn't just continue to keep doing that. You'd expect some sort of a correction. We have bounced a bit. You can see that there is some support along there. So you don't know. I mean, we triggered a big bear bar there. We've come back. That is actually a failure. You're trapping some longs there. So I think that's what happened. 2 legs down. You probably had some longs going along there, and it came sideways, triggered them there, and then dropped like a stone. Now, obviously, there was some news involved there. That mainly caught that news, but so we're going to recover some of this. It's hard to say, really. It's always nice to see what's happened and what's going on, but you never quite know exactly what's going to happen. Sometimes the market just shoots off. It did it yesterday in a direction. There, I mean, look at that. We were just going nice and slowly and nice and steadily, and it just flipping took off. There was no signal it was going to do that at all. I mean, look at that. It just shot up 34 points nearly, just quickly. Then had a little bit of a pullback, and then did exactly the same. I mean, we ended up sort of like 33 points, and then we did another 30. So it just went up like 65 points. In no time. What was that? About 8:15 UK time. In an hour, rocket up. There was just no way into that, really. That's why I'm looking at this new strategy as a setup. Whenever we get these relatively tight channels, whenever we seem to get a bearish bar, so we go up, we get a bearish bar. If you'd have bought on that close, it rocketed up. Same again, you buy on that close, rocketed up. Same again, you buy on that close. We did get a pullback, but they went up again. So there'd have been 3 trades there. But if you can see where they finished, see where that one finished, straight over, straight up. See where that one closed, straight over, straight up. That one had a bit of a pullback, but that was a little bit further away from this channel. But this type of channel, well, I sort of say a double channel as opposed to sort of maybe this type of channel where it's sort of very steep. But look, if you'd have just waited for that bar to close and then bought, woof, you'd have got, what's that, 3-4 points in one bar. And same again there. So this is another sort of strategy I'm keeping an eye on. Just one setup, really. And same again, we're coming down. Bullish bar. If you'd have just sold there, what happened? Straight down. Same again, bullish bar. It crossed straight over, didn't go up. Came straight down. So they're quite easy to predict and easy to see, those. So I'm just watching them, really. Throughout the day, just monitoring them, and then at some point I may start to trade them. So channel, that's an overshoot, so we can just have a full out reversal, but it's kind of a bit of a correction as well. So we've had a break of it and a new low and a little bit of a double bottom. So what's the NQ doing now? There is a lower high after that, but it's just way too far from the EMA and it's a bit flat here. So I'd expect that to get stopped out. If anybody took that lower high, I'd say that's going to get eaten up. Might not, but excuse me a sec. Well, it's coming back down again. So channel break, 2 pushes down to a new low. Now what are we doing? Okay, just a quick bathroom break. I'll just be 1 minute. Possible second entry short. I don't like it. There's some support there. But is this just going to come down? It may do, you know.
Order
I may
submitted.
take a risk here. Let's have a look. Or I might be getting trapped here. Let's see how big it is.
Order filled.
The reason I'm taking that, it is a bit risky, but there may be another channel forming here. I think there is. So we could have a massive dump here, really. This does seem like another channel there, so I don't mind having a risk there. Come on, have a dump. Come on.
Target filled.
Okay, I think that was 175 again, wasn't it? There is a bit of support there, but I've got to say, that does look like another channel's forming there. So, around about the New York open price, are we? That's here, isn't it? New York open price, am I missing something? I just have a feeling this is going to have a really big drop. We've got this big push down. It was the news. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I think this is just going to drop. It's educated guess. New York open right now, are we? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I thought, yeah, sorry. I thought it meant yesterday's open. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah. Yeah, we'd all read the news by then, hadn't we? Yeah, sorry, my mistake. I thought you meant last night open. Are we getting another channel here? But we are getting some bottoming, so Maybe a few stops above there. It'd be interesting to see when we get up there. We're going to have a little pop or not. That's a bit too far over for me there. That's better. Are we bouncing here? Are we going to trap some shorts there? After that channel, there's probably going to be some in there. Or are we generally going to dump? We may do. We've had this little... We've recovered some of it. Then we've had a fair old size dump. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 points. But there is some support along there. And as somebody mentioned, the New York Open... 9:30ish. Or was it? Wasn't the New York Open here? Oh, of course it is, yeah. Not round about. Come on, let's get a grip. Yeah. It was about here, so yeah. It was around about there somewhere, so yeah, it makes sense. Are we going to trap some shorts and push up, or are we going to continue down? Could go either way. I'd expect it to go with some vengeance, though, once we eventually do something. Possibly second entry short here. My concern is, though, there's what looks like a failure on the NQ. So it's a little bit sideways here, so I have a feeling this may go up. never triggered anyway, so. Interesting. Struggling to get up at the moment. It does look like we're going to continue down here. Whether to retest this or not, I don't know. Maybe a bigger channel there. Possible. Cool. I'm tempted
Order
just to sell
filled.
that and take risk. Just looks like the bottom's going to fall out of this. I'm not risking that much. Let's just leave it at that. Does look like we're going to come down.
Stop filled.
That's a bit careless.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Should have just given it a little bit extra there. It might have been right there.
Order filled.
Push, come on, smack down. It did drop and it dropped and bounced off me thingy, didn't it? Oh, by one tick.
Target filled.
So, what do I think's going on here now? So I took a win and a loss there, didn't I? On exactly the same thing. Oh no, where was my stop there? I can't remember what I did there. Okay, I had a win and a loss there, didn't I? Let's have a look. I just won't mark it. So we could have a really strong move right the way down here now. I wish I'd have held on to there. We could get a really strong move. I'll work out what my points are later. I've taken quite a few trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Wouldn't normally take that much on a PA, but I don't mind taking riskier trades on an evaluation. I like that channel because it's working in the bottom there, so that looks like a two-tiered channel. And 2 legs back up, followed by a lower high. That was a nice trade, actually. Bit risky going into the bottoms, but with that overshoot, I think it's a fair chance we're going to have a couple of legs down, certainly down to maybe this area here, or even possibly lower. In fact, I may come back later at 7 o'clock. Sometimes when we get that FOMC meeting minutes, we end up getting a strong move. A couple of times I've had a look later and missed some trades, so in fact, I'm going to knock on the head there, I think, for the day. How long have I done? 2.25 hours, a little bit less than normal. It's definitely bouncing around a lot today. There's a lot of bouncy stuff, but there have been some trades there. We seem to be working up there. Whether you're taking that one or not, it's hard to say. I think I bought directly off there, I think, and it came up and came down and I got out. I wouldn't normally do that, but I think there's a fair chance it was going to go up, and then obviously the higher low worked. Trade there. We'd had a perfect measured leg down. Wouldn't have normally traded that, but I was... it was just a short amount anyway, back towards the EMA. I got out for a point. And then that one as well. Whatever it was, trapping some longs. Same again, looked like it was coming down. That worked again. Tell it like it was that one, wasn't it? Second entry short worked for a bit. I think it came down... let's say a tick below. It came down 2.25 points, so I got out for a 1.75. I think I can't remember. Did I sell that and get out? And then it ended up going down anyway. But I got back in with a lower high. I like that. It was nice that. There's going to be some longs, a few touches here, likely to be taking that. So I think there's a fair chance we're going to have another leg down. So you're welcome, Tony. So it's a little bit volatile for me, a little bit choppy to trade my PAs, and the ATR is a little bit high today. It has come down a bit, but it is choppy, and sometimes leading up to FOMC minutes, it can get a bit like this. But I think there's a fair chance we're going to get 2 legs down there. We may come down to this level here, but there you go. So just trading evaluation today. So I'm up about, after fees, just under $1,000, $978. As I say, I don't mind taking risks. You pretty much work out where the market's going. But yeah, not everyone trades them like this. I tend to. But the trouble is you can lose them easy as well. But I am only trading 2 contracts, so, you know, but there you go. So that's it for today. I'm going to come back later after the news. Sometimes you get a decent move then, and then you get some setup. So that's it for today. We're back same time tomorrow. So I appreciate your comments. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll talk again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.